Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that the market held above the 87 to 89 support, leaving the buy side in control. And then from there, we got a breakout move on the non-farm payroll report off the 96.5 to 98.5 area. At this point, heading into the open, we know that short term, the buyers are in control, and they can maintain that firm control as long as ES holds above the 96.5 to 98.5 area. A break below that zone would signal a failed breakout attempt, and then we would have to adjust our bias on the day time frame. Now, on the upside, the market is testing larger time frame areas of resistance. So the 2108.75 to 2110.75 is a decent area of resistance, and we've seen a sell response there on first test. Beyond that, we have resistance at 18.5 to 20.5. So the bias on the day time frame is going to be bullish, but we do need to be mindful of trade location. We do need to be mindful of the fact that the market's trading near some decent resistance zones, and if we are initiating any longs at these higher prices, then we need to make sure that there is a lot of underlying momentum favoring that trade. Otherwise, initiating a long from an aggressive price like the 2108.75 to 1075 resistance can be quite risky short term because the market may balance here before making another directional move. So that's something we'll have to gauge in real time during the day. Beyond the 2110.75 resistance, ES has potential to test 18.5 to 20.5, which marks the all-time high, and that zone could cap the upside on the day. Now, we also have to keep an eye on the other markets, and I think that how the Russell behaves today can be quite telling because that's the market that's kind of catching up right now. So if Russell can break out and hold beyond the recent high of around 1159 to 1160, then we know that there are some broad market buyers here, and we have some pretty decent strength in the underlying market. So short term, the bias is going to be more on the upside, and we are going to be cautious on taking any short setups because right now the buy side is in firm control. The 18.5 to 20.5 is an area where on first test, very likely we will see some profit taking, especially considering the fact that it's Friday, we're heading into the weekend. Most likely, by the time the market gets into 18.5, 20.5, it'll be quite exhausted, and that is a zone that has potential hold. And then beyond that, there is no hard resistance. So in the event that the market actually goes through the 18.5 to 20.5, there is no hard resistance beyond that point. On the downside, like I said, that 96.5 to 98.5 is key to establish the bias. We need to see the market holding above it. So far, everything is looking quite bullish, but in the event that something changes during the day and we see a break below 96.5 to 98.5, that would tell you that the market is not quite as strong anymore, and it will have at that point wiped out the breakout move that we saw off of non-farm. Below that, we can get a move back down into 87, 89, and those areas of support are still going to be valid because a failure at 96.5 to 98.5 would tell us that this breakout attempt has failed, but it doesn't mean that the market has to now completely reverse and sell off. So we could at that point just balance within a range, and we can still see buyers active at 87, 89, 81.75 to 82.75, and the 78.5 to 80.5. And in the event that those zones didn't hold, then it would be a shift in the overall control, and it would put us more in a bearish environment. But for now, as long as ES is holding above pre-market support, things are going to be relatively bullish, and during the day we could eventually end up balancing a bit here and then making our way up to 18.5 to 20.5. So the short-term bias is going to be bullish on the day time frame, but with the understanding that ES is testing larger time frame areas of resistance, which could prove to be a hurdle on the smaller time frames, and we could end up developing a range here before taking off and testing the 18.5 to 20.5. So those are the main ideas for the day. Let's see how ES responds to initial resistance, and we will take it from there.